right, hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar, Billing Reconciliation, Managing Errors and Balancing Accounts. My name is Shannon. I'm a trainer on the training team. I've been with QHR for 7 years, and I've been on the training team for 5 years. I specialize in training Accuro Engage products, clerical training, as well as a wide variety of other Accuro features. I'd like to point out a few items for our live event today. First, our training team is ready to answer your questions. If you have a question, use the Q&A button at the top of your screen. When you click on the Q&A icon, you will see the question and answer pane open on the right side of your window. Click Ask a Question to submit any questions you may have. You can click on New Posts to see any newly posted questions and responses. If you've asked a question and it's been answered by the training team, you will see Show One Comment under the question. Click on that to open the conversation and see the reply. Our presentation today is live. However, it is also being recorded and will be available in the Accuro resources page should you need to review anything in the future. So today, we're going to cover how to match claims in the Unmatched Remittances tab, reconciling claims in the Not Reconciled tab. We will review the Accuro resources page options at the end, and there will also be a quick survey. Please take a few moments to answer those survey questions, as your feedback helps drive the items we present. So let's jump into Accuro, and we'll start in the Unmatched Remittances tab. So after you've brought in your assessments from the ministry using the Assessments button at the bottom of Accuro, you can then reconcile anything that has come back paid differently than what was submitted. We always recommend that the first step you take is to match any unmatched claims. Why? Well, matching claims first will save you time. If you clear out your Not Reconciled tab first and then go back to the Unmatched Claims section, Unmatched Remittances section, you'll have to go back to your Not Reconciled tab to match those or to reconcile those recently matched claims. Matching claims first will save you from having to clean up the Not Reconciled tab twice and keeps your workflow streamlined. The Unmatched Remittances tab houses all responses from the ministry that Accuro does not recognize as a match to a claim. Remittance is just another word for payment. So why do payments end up here? They may end up in the Unmatched Remittances tab for a few reasons. Payments for claims submitted in another billing software outside of Accuro, if the ministry has changed a procedure code, if the claim was open and any information in it was changed after it had already been submitted, if two identical procedure codes were billed in the same claim but on separate lines, and some out-of-province claim. Essentially, a payment has come into Accuro, and Accuro doesn't know where to apply that payment. There are two sections here. The top section shows the responses from the ministry, and the bottom section shows claims that Accuro believes may be a match to the selected response. An important setting for you to have enabled in the Unmatched Remittances tab is Show Entire Claim, down here. Having this checked will ensure that you can see the entire claim, including any sub-procedures associated with it, which will be visible in the bottom section of this tab. If there's a response at the top, you can click on it. This will prompt Accuro to look for any potential matches in the bottom section. If you have a response in the top section and a claim in the bottom section that you know is a match, you will click on both so they are highlighted. You can then match the claims together by clicking Match in the bottom corner. When the response is matched to a claim, it will be removed from the Unmatched Remittances tab. If the claim was paid differently or had an explanatory code, it will be moved to the Not Reconciled tab. If the claim was paid in full with no explanatory code, it will be moved to the Remittances tab. Sometimes there might not be a claim in Accuro to match to. This can occur when you've submitted a claim in a different billing software and the response from the ministry has still come back into Accuro. If this happens, you can bring up the patient's appointment history using F4. You can look through the archived appointment history and unarchive any appointments that you believe would be a match. Another option, if there isn't any appointment history to match to, is to mark the claim as not on file. When a response has been marked as not on file, using the button in the bottom right corner here, mark NOF, the claim will be removed from the Unmatched Remittances tab. The responses that are marked as not on file will also appear in the not on file report based on the payment date. So our next step in our reconciliation journey, after we've cleared out the Unmatched Remittances tab, would be to move over to the Not Reconciled tab. The Not Reconciled tab is where you work to balance claims. You will want the Not Reconciled tab to be empty. This tab contains the error report from the ministry, which shows anything that has not come back paid in full. This includes rejections, overpayments, and underpayments. When selecting a claim, a response can be seen in the bottom corner from the ministry. It is important that you have your filters applied correctly above. Show refusals and show overpayments should both be checked off, or else some of your claims will be filtered out. When working with claims in the Not Reconciled tab, there are different options depending on which action you're taking with the claim. Right-click on your claim to see your options. The first option that you can take is Adjust to Paid. You'll want to use this option if the claim is paid differently than what was submitted and you agree with the payment received from the ministry. Whether it was overpaid or underpaid, this will adjust the amount billed to the amount paid and reconcile the claim so it's no longer outstanding. Using Adjust to Paid will remove the claim from the Not Reconciled tab and no longer track it as needing any kind of payment. When selecting Adjust to Paid, you will be prompted to give an adjustment reason. You can free type in this box or select from the list. You can edit your list of reasons with the Manage option here, and then add, edit, or remove reasons from your list. This adjustment reason box is optional. Now, although the claim is removed from the Not Reconciled tab, you can still find it in your Remittances tab. The next step in the right-click menu is Adjust All Overpayments to Paid. This will adjust all claims that have received payments higher than the original submitted amount. It will change the billed amount to match the paid amount. This saves you from having to address the overpayments one at a time and will save you time in the future. The next option you can choose is Write-Off. You will use Write-Off when a provider has performed a service, billed for it correctly, but you will not be paid for that service. An example would be if a claim has become stale dated and cannot receive payment, or if the patient does not have health coverage in Canada and payment is not able to be collected for this service. The write-off option works just like Adjust to Paid in that it will change the billed amount to the paid amount so it's no longer outstanding. It will also remove the claim from the Not Reconciled tab. The difference between adjust to paid and write-off is when you write off claims. Those claims will appear in a write-off report. So it's a good way to track those. You can find the write-off report in Reports, which can be found in your Start menu, going to Reports and Reports. The write-off report will be listed in the billing section, and this is in alphabetical order, so it's near the bottom. You can always mark it with a star as your favorite. Back to our claims. Back to the right-click menu. So one option that we recommend that you never use is accept response. This option can cause a bit of confusion as it will only remove the claim from the not reconciled tab, but does not tell Accuro to stop tracking the outstanding payment. It does not balance the paid amount, which again can cause confusion with remittances later. So once you've fully cleared out your not reconciled tab, you would then move along to your accounts receivable tab at the top. This tab will show you any claims that are waiting for payment. To see the claims, you will first select the insurer from the drop-down and then select Find Claims. Oh, and you'll also want to select the provider from the bottom here. I'm going to set it to all. And there we go. This tab can be thought of as a current snapshot of any outstanding billed amounts or potential revenue. It's very helpful to detect if there have been any errors in submission or downloading. This tab may include overpayments, underpayments, rejections, submitted claims where no response has been received yet, and claims that have not yet been submitted or invoiced. It should balance for every pay period listed at the bottom. We recommend adding a reminder in your calendar to do this every week after you've downloaded the remittance advice report. We recommend sorting by submitted date, which will put your most urgent items on top. You can rearrange your columns by clicking and holding and dragging and dropping them where you want them to be. Click on the title at the top to sort by that specific category. As other claims are worked on from other areas of Accuro, the accounts receivable tab will be updated continually, as well as showing you the most up-to-date outstanding claims that need to be addressed. The results of the account receivable list can be printed at the bottom here using the print button. When this button is selected, you'll have the option to print all or print selected bills. When handling claims here, it is important to focus on the oldest claims first. We recommend assigning distinct colors to the date ranges at the bottom. This will indicate whether a payment, a claim is less than 60 days, more than 90 days, less than 90 days, less than 120 days, or more than 120 days. To change these colors, you can click in the box next to the time range, which will bring up your color palette here. You can select a different color for different ages, use OK, and then that will be applied to your claim section here in the accounts receivable. Managing claims here works in the same way it would in the Not Reconciled tab. Right-click and use either write-off or adjust to paid. Both of these options will change the billed amount of the claim to match the paid amount. Therefore, the claim will no longer have an amount owing. When a claim has no outstanding balance, it will be removed from the accounts receivable tab, thus lowering the accounts receivable owed amount. So, what do we do if a claim has not been paid at all? Well, you can ask yourself, has the claim been submitted within the last billing cycle? If yes, it is expected to not have received a response for this claim yet. Based on the provincial billing cycle, if a response should have been received for a claim, the claim history can be checked. So you can right-click and claim history. Here's what I wanted. All right, so if the claim history shows a retrieved on date, right here, it means that the government successfully received the submission and has sent it back with a response. The action required on the claim will differ depending on the response received. Here's the response. If a claim is refused and will not be paid, the claim can be marked as either a just a paid or write-off based on the reason for refusal. If there's a submitted on date, but not a retrieved on date, the government can be contacted to ensure they've received your submission. Please note, there needs to be sufficient time allowed after the submitted on date for a response to be generated and received from the ministry. If you're working on a third-party claim, ask yourself, is it expected to receive payment for invoices issued after a specific date? If no is answered, it is expected that this claim is still outstanding and needs to be paid. If you need to track a claim, you can add what's called a tracking pin to help you keep these organized. You can right-click a claim that you'd like to track and go to the Set Tracking Pin option and choose which tracking pin you need to assign. We'll be able to see the pin in the pin column here. You can also find any tracked claims in the Tracked Claims tab up at the top. To remove a claim from the Tracked Claims area, you can right-click on it, go to Set Tracking Pin, and set it to None, which will remove the claim from being tracked. If you want to change which tracking pins you have available, you can manage this through the Accuro Start menu. You go to your menu and type in the word tracking, and then you have the option to manage claim tracking here. This will give you your current list of pins and also allow you to add your own with the Add button. You can select current pins and edit them with the blue pencil, or you can select a pin you never use or no longer use and delete that from your Accuro database. Okay, so we'll close this up. Perfect. So now that we've gone through the specific tabs that we need to go through for the reconciliation journey, that does conclude the Accuro portion of my presentation. So I hope that everybody was able to walk away from today's session with at least one additional helpful workflow. And then I wanted to show you where you can go to learn even more. So we have our wonderful Accuro resources page, which I'm going to bring up here. You should be seeing that on your screen now. If you want to get to this Accuro resources page, all you need to do is type in accuroemr.com/support into your browser. There will also be a direct link to the resources page in the Q&A section of this meeting. Here you will find all the help and support that you need in your Accuro journey. You can use the search field at the top to search content by keyword. You can browse support by category underneath. Scrolling down a little bit, you can check our system status here with our status page. You can view our Accuro user guides. And you can also learn about add-ons that will help your practice become more streamlined by utilizing things like AI or Accuro Engage, which offers secure messaging for you and patients, online booking, and also virtual appointments. You can find all of our training options by clicking the Explore Training Options button here. Here you'll have direct access to our Accuro Learning Center, our performance training, our expert-led training. You can also connect directly with your dedicated practice consultant at the bottom here. Up at the top, you can access our Accuro training promotions. So we all like a good bargain. So if we click on Accuro promotions and learn more, you can find our most latest deal here. So right now, we are offering $50 off the billing errors and reconciliation expert-led training. This gives you a full hour one-on-one session with an expert billing trainer who will teach you how to streamline your billing workflows in your Accuro and reconcile your billing. Now let's jump back to the main Accuro resources page, and I have a few last items to go through. So here we are on the main page. If we scroll down a little bit further, we can see the common Accuro support items here, and a little bit further down, you have access to all of our webinar series. You're able to view past webinar recordings and sign up for future presentations. If you ever need a little bit of extra assistance, you can contact our wonderful client services team. If we didn't get to your question, please reach out to them and they'll be happy to help. You can reach them toll-free by phone, and then they have their support phone hours here. You can also use the contact form to send them an email. And then we have this wonderful new live chat feature at the bottom right corner. So this little orange button here, we can open it up and talk to the client services team here.